Hey guys, welcome to Dark Knight Nation for our coverage of New York Comic Con 2018. Per usual, this year's con was fantastic, filled with a lot of great news, a lot of great panels, and we got to meet some of the great creators behind the stuff that we know and love. This segment of our New York Comic Con coverage will be going over some of the Geoff John Spotlight panel, which DC was gracious enough to give us reserved seating for. So again, thank you so much to DC Comics for giving us the opportunity to do that. There was a lot that came out of Geoff John's panel, so on this part we're going to be going over Geoff Johns discussing some of the DCEU movies and TV shows like Shazam, Aquaman, Titans, and a little bit more. We'll also be giving you some actual footage from the Spotlight to see what Geoff Johns had to say about everything going on in the world of DC. But he did reveal some trailers that I cannot show, so those parts will be cut out and I'll discuss what he showed so that you guys get a good idea. Most of it's on the internet anyways, so you can always go take a look at those for yourself. Now don't forget, if you dig this video and want to see more like it, click that like button, subscribe to the channel for more, and share the video to help us grow. That's definitely the best way to keep us moving over here. If we can hit a measly 10 likes on this video, I'll post a part 2 to the Geoff John Spotlight panel where he discusses 3 Jokers with his artist Jason Fabok, the Shazam comic, and Doomsday Clock, so definitely don't forget to click that like button. Now you've heard enough from me, so let's get right into it.
I love you too.
So how you doing, sir?
Good, how are you?
Good. When they asked me to do this panel, I was really excited because doing DC All Access for so long, there's so many times where we've gotten to chat, but usually it's a limited amount of time about a couple of things. This time we get to talk about a lot of stuff, and I'm really excited because I got to see you a little bit earlier this week at New York Comic Con.
All these characters that everyone else doesn't think are cool.
Yeah.
Which is my favorite thing to do, is take characters like Aquaman and Mara and Shazam and Booster Gold and just try and show everyone why I love them. And so we can do that with DC Universe, like Hawk and Dove are characters I've always loved. And since Rob Liefeld and did that series way back when, and they've never been live action before, and it's really cool to be able to work on characters like Hawk and Dove out of all of them. So I brought a little piece to show you guys of Hawk and Dove.
So here Geoff shows us the trailer that's been released of Hawk and Dove and their intro into the show. We also get a little bit of their interaction with Robin, played by Brenton Thwaites. I really liked it. I thought the dynamic between the three was really interesting. There seems like there might be some sort of love triangle going on. I mean, the Teen Titans, or the Titans, however you want to put it, are really well known for the character interactions and the drama over the action and other high-flying craziness, so with Geoff Johns at the helm, I'm not super surprised that that's going to be a big part of the show. One thing I might add is that I think that these 3 characters have the best costume designs in the entire show. I mean, they just look so spot on and, well, real. I must say overall, the more recent trailers they've been putting out has actually been getting me excited for the show. I didn't react to the first trailer as negatively as a lot of other people did, but what we're seeing now is definitely giving me hope for the show, and as a subscriber to the DC Universe service, I'm gonna be watching it anyways, so not like it matters, right? I sat through Arrow Season 3 and 4. With that being said, let's get on to Geoff Johns talking a little bit about the upcoming Aquaman film.
On San Diego this year, when he was up on that stage for the panel, I was like, he is him.
He is Aquaman.
He's so him.
He is Aquaman, and he's like, he's like, when you stand next to him, you feel like you're standing next to a superhero. I know we have a new 5-minute piece that we're going to play for Aquaman.
Do you guys want to see it? Yeah?
So let's play that.
The trailer kicks off with Aquaman's origin, you know, him kind of being a product of both the land and the sea, and his mother Atlanta disappearing kind of out of nowhere. And we learn that Aquaman is actually a part of something much deeper than just being a citizen of 2 different nations. It seems like a general majority of the narrative is going to follow Mara kind of trying to get Aquaman to get more involved in Atlantis and embrace his heritage. Along the way, it seems like they're going to get into some pretty cool, like, Indiana Jones-esque adventures as Aquaman learns a little bit more about what makes him an Atlantean and potentially a little bit of history about how Atlantis sunk. We get a little bit more visual on Atlantis, and man, does it look amazing. The CGI for this movie has gotta be top-notch. I mean, what they're doing here with Atlantis has to be even more intensive than what Marvel Studios did with Wakanda and Black Panther. So it'd be really interesting to see if DC can pull it off, especially after all of the buzzing about how bad the CGI was in Justice League. Another thing that this trailer really wins me over on is direct comic book panels as shots in the movie. Another big one is just more Black Manta. I think I can speak for most people that have been watching these trailers, and that Black Manta is a consistent plus in every single one of these trailers. Another big plot point in this film is Arthur trying to win the throne from his brother Orm, who, from what I can understand here, is probably similar to what happened in the comics, where he took advantage and tried to take hold of the throne. I'm excited. I mean, Aquaman and his brother Orm are two of the biggest hero-villain rivals in comics, so getting to see that on the screen is gonna be nuts. Also, the fucking trench creatures. I'm sorry, excuse my French, but they look so good. I did not think we were gonna be seeing them in this movie. From what I understand story-wise, this is just gonna be some amalgamation of Geoff Johns' Aquaman run from the New 52. And I couldn't be more fine with that. We get some really great shots of the Atlantean Civil War between the followers of Arthur, who is to be the true crown of Atlantis, and Orm's followers. Jeez, man, I really don't think I can say enough of how freaking beautifully shot this movie is and how good the effects are. I really enjoyed this new trailer of Aquaman. I think they kind of established that we're gonna be getting Bro Dude Aquaman for quite a while, but we are definitely getting Aquaman stories with Bro Dude Aquaman. It makes me feel like they're probably gonna do some heavy character development throughout this movie, or at least I hope, to eventually get to the Arthur Curry that we know and love. I don't think they'll ever let the whole bro dude thing go, because that's been widely popular amongst movie fans, but only time will tell. Overall, this movie trailer was freaking badass, man. I cannot wait for this movie to come out, and that's pretty hard to do considering the track record for the DC Cinematic Universe. Overall, positive outlook on what we're going to be seeing in the Aquaman film. Next up, Geoff Johns discusses another character that he is all too familiar with in Shazam, and the new Shazam film coming out sometime next year.
So this is another character like Aquaman that I've wanted to bring to the forefront for a long time, and there were a lot of challenges to get this movie made. It wasn't until New Line really came aboard and we had some acceleration. And Zach Levi plays Shazam. And a lot of you guys have probably seen this trailer. We don't have a new piece on this, but we'll show this trailer right now for those who haven't seen it.
If you've gone to one of his signings or anything, when the announcement came out that he was playing this character, I was like, duh. Like, he has that perfect balance of being lighthearted and such a kid at heart, but I mean, he got bulked up for this role, which is awesome.
He had a lot of power bars for this. Again, David Sandberg, who's directed it, he did Annabelle Creation, which is actually a really good movie, really scary, and this is such a departure from that tone. But the world of Shazam, it's more of a family movie, like as far as like anyone can see, it's all ages, and it's about family. Shazam's always been about family. And you don't get a ton of that yet in the trailers, but the movie's all about Billy Batson, of course, finding his family. Yeah. And again, like there's a lot of similar themes, I think, in comics and probably with the people that write them. Like, a lot of the characters are missing their family, or trying to find family, and you're trying to find your place in the world, and that goes on with Shazam. But I can't wait for people to see that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And again, I can't wait for kids to just be shouting Shazam.
Well,
and being really disappointed when
Alright, so like Geoff said in the panel, there wasn't any new Shazam footage, but I will comment on it a little bit since I haven't already. I think this film just looks like a lot of unadulterated fun. The first time I watched the trailer, I was kind of mixed about it, but to be honest with you, the more I see footage, the more this film grows on me. So like Aquaman, this movie pulls more from Geoff Johns' New 52 storytelling, and I don't really have a problem with that. From what I can gather from the trailer, we're really going to explore Billy becoming a hero, and obviously what it's like for a 14-year-old boy to gain the powers of a god. Like that scene I'm sure many of you have seen in the trailer where Billy finds out he's bulletproof. The youthful and innocent look on his face, I think, is perfect. If everything else in this movie goes bad, I think that Zachary Levi's casting as Shazam is perfect. And I'm really excited to see where the character goes and how he develops over the span of this movie and the rest to come. So I know a lot of people also have a bit of a beef with how the Shazam costume looks, but let me put this out there. This movie has another 6 months, as of the time I'm recording this video, to come out. That means that they're probably not done with post-production, and the final product we're getting in the movie is likely going to look much better than it does in the trailer. And the one thing that I can really give DC on this one is that it's by far the most comic book accurate suit we've seen in the DC cinematic universe. And that's what a lot of people have been asking for. So before we start the complaining, let's just wait to see the movie. If I had to sum up my feelings about the movie so far based on what we've seen in the trailer, I think it's really charming and I'm really excited to watch the movie for myself. This movie really just seems to be a coming-of-age story cranked up to 11. From the trailers alone, you can even see a little bit of Billy's character progression from a pessimistic, downtrodden boy to curiously optimistic teenager to badass superhero. Honestly, I'm pretty pumped for this movie, and based on what Geoff Johns was saying in that spotlight panel, it makes me even more excited. I know that it's his job to do it, but nonetheless, Geoff Johns hasn't failed me yet. Now, with all that being said, let's get to our question of the day. Out of all of the movies and TV shows that Geoff Johns talked about here in his panel, which one are you most excited for and why? Let me know down in the comments below. And don't forget, if you want to hear part 2, where we go over all of the comic books that Geoff Johns talked about in the spotlight panel, we gotta get this video to 10 likes. Come on guys and gals, I believe in you. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching some coverage of the Geoff Johns Spotlight from New York Comic Con. If you want to see a part 2 where Geoff goes over some of the new comics he's been working on, definitely make sure to hit that like button. Once we hit at least 10, I'll drop that here for you guys. If you dig this video and you want to see more, or you want to see some of our cool reviews / motion comic summaries, don't forget to click that like button, subscribe to the channel for more, and share the video to help us grow as we approach 100 subs. I know it's not much, but it's our first big milestone, and I really appreciate all the support. With that being said, thank you guys again for watching, and I hope to see you on the next episode from Dark Knight Nation.